In this guided relaxation exercise, you'll use a tribal gathering as a metaphor for reflecting on our emotions and finding our own solutions. Take a deep breath. Stretch up to the sky. Twirl the fingers, roll the shoulders back. Breathe out slow. Imagining what it'd be like at a tribal gathering. What kind of scenery is there? Hills, plains, flora, fauna. What animals and trees and grasses do you see? What's the sounds and the smells like? This quiet space to hold an internal gathering of thoughts, maybe to make important decisions, to deliberate matters of concern, to celebrate a success, to make a new plan, to resolve old wounds, to process a recurring dream, or to honour and be grateful. Perhaps there's a symptom in your body calling you to take this time to yourself. Breathe in and let it go, becoming more relaxed as we start to imagine this scenery. Just like as if a tribal messenger or small group of people might be sent out to visit each household and deliver this invitation in person. Your body may be calling you. This would likely involve going door to door and speaking directly with people who live there. So think now about the different parts of your mind who may be resistant to this. Imagine those parts as characters in the tribe that this group would need to find ways to make comfortable when they get to the gathering. All the elders will be there. The whole tribe will be present. No one will be left out. No one will be misheard. The elders will offer guidance on how to balance out the needs of all of those parts. Take a deep breath, let it go. The messenger or group might use a specific language, tone, or words to convey the importance of the meeting and the reason for the gathering. The drums or other sound might become a background sound to your relaxation. Even after you've done this a few times, you may hear them in your mind when you need them. As has happened for eons, that these sounds have been used like signifiers to start a gathering, with a specific rhythm or pattern used to indicate the type of meeting being called. Once the meeting is being called, people would have made their way to the designated meeting place. This would have been a central village, town square, stone circle, or some sacred site. Something significant to the community. And in your mind, imagine this safe, quiet place. Upon arriving, people would gather, as the parts of your minds now do. Each breathe slowly and sink back into your comfortable position, letting tensions go. And together, the tribe would have taken their places, with different groups or individuals sitting in specific areas for their status, role or clan, just as, sitting or laying as straight as we can, our shoulders back in position. Taking a few deep breaths and letting it go will calm our mind. Once everyone has arrived and settled in for the meeting, things would begin. With the proper ceremony in the proper moment. Depending on the culture and the reason for the gathering, this might have involved speeches, ceremonies, rituals, or other activities. Participants would have been expected to listen attentively, share their opinions and ideas, and work together to reach a consensus or make important decisions. Picture yourself sitting in this circle with the elders. Feel the warmth and safety of the community around you. Take a deep breath. Let your tensions dissolve away. Notice tingling, heaviness as we relax into this imagined scene. Imagine now the three main parts of ourselves. The critic who tries to get us to follow suit and manage coping in daily day-to-day life. The reckless part, who takes over like a hero at times when we can't stand the pain anymore. And that deep emotional part, a part that as an adult we often don't have time to listen to because we're too busy coping. Imagine these are 3 members of the tribe. Listen now to what the elders would say to each of them, offering them guidance, compassion and wisdom. So it would have been such an important meeting, a sacred event. And they would have asked each person to take their turn in speaking, validating each perspective as being right from its own sense. Imagine those characters now, the emotional part, as the youngest version of yourself when you first experience that emotion or physical feeling in your body. Imagine that managing critical part of yourself as the most idealised version who's successful and got it all together. And as that part of us is not entirely realistic, we all have our weaknesses. At times, that reckless hero will take over. Maybe he does some naughty things, or ignores some people, or isolates, becomes wild, and perhaps we feel a bit guilty afterwards when that part comes out. Just as the tribesmen might not look so favourably upon that part, but the elders would appreciate them. We would see the need for them within the community as a part of whom we are and of whom the community is. Take a deep breath. Imagine now the different elders whom are there and what each of them may bring to this situation. There's a situation burbling away. There's driving an emotion, an exiled emotion within us. There's a situation that we're trying to manage and hold on to, and that from time to time that reckless part wants to come out and take over with. Imagine now settling back, relaxing, as each of the wise elders take their places and offer their advice. Let's start with the healer. This person represents they who has the ability to heal physical and spiritual illnesses. They use a range of traditional healing techniques like bush medicine, ceremony and spiritual healing. They'd offer each of these 3 kindness and nurturance, perhaps some medicine or just a soothing touch. Imagine now a storyteller. Perhaps he's narrating the scene. He may be providing a metaphorical story to represent a solution, to guide people, to encourage them to open up and to accept each of those parts' perspectives. The storyteller holds a knowledge of the Dreamtime stories, of the past, the history, which are the creation stories and myths that explain each culture, the origin of the world and of the people. They often serve as teachers and convey important cultural teachings and values through their stories. What would they say? What would the statesperson say? The leader, the one who heads up the community with a strong voice in decision making. They may deliberate, allow each a little voice and say, we've heard that, we'll come back, hold space, let us hear from the next elder. They may coordinate them all, respected for their wisdom and experience. They often act as advisors to younger members of the community. There's a few more to hear from. Imagine next the lawman, a person who holds knowledge and responsibility for traditional laws and customs. They're responsible for ensuring that those laws are respected and followed within the community. They often serve as mediators, and they're highly respected for their wisdom and knowledge. This person might align with that critical manager part that's trying to keep us going with the flow. They may not align with that heroic person that takes over that part. They can do reckless things in order to try and bring the balance back to account for the needs of that exiled emotion, that younger part of whom we are. The warrior elder may speak up. He may support this reckless part. He may represent the person who's skilled in hunting, tracking, fighting, often tasked with protecting the community from external threats, and they're respected for their courage and bravery. And they're a strong part of the community. That's why they've become an elder, because they'll fight when they need to, but they'll do that in a reserved manner, avoiding harm to anyone, just doing what must be done. They're a man of action. What might they say about this situation? The next elder, the keeper of culture, represents the person who's responsible for preserving and passing on cultural traditions and practices to future generations. This one might remind you of things done by forefathers. This one may ask you, how might you like to resolve this in a way that others would be proud of and respect in future generations? I often work with younger members of the community to teach them about language, art, music and dance. And this emotional part is isolated, lonely, the younger version of ourselves, the subconscious part, the bodily pains and feelings, sensations. That part will often need that guidance throughout our entire life. For 90% of our brain is subconscious, it's automatic, it's emotional. It's always a dance to discover what this part needs. Take a deep breath and imagine how these solutions could be implemented. Imagine that statesperson coming back, deliberating a balanced way forward. Imagine them talking about what might come of this, what things might need to happen for you, within you, to nurture and support your own emotions, and to set your own boundaries. How there may be other unexpected parts or parties whom have consequences or boundaries put in place, and how we can kindly, calmly, curiously set up those solutions. Perhaps the critical person and the outrageous one have been acting in a controlling and suppressing manner towards the innocent emotional part, making them feel isolated and helpless. The tribe members have noticed this behaviour and are now gathering to discuss this. As this discussion moves forward, people speak up one by one, expressing their frustrations at the behaviour of the critic and the outrageous one. Many share stories of how they've witnessed the two individuals belittling and mistreating the innocent emotions. Others speak of the impact this behaviour is having on the whole community. As the discussion continues, the elders of the tribe speak up and deliberate. They propose a step-by-step solution. They make it clear that each person can be heard, and that only a certain amount may be tolerated. They suggest that the community needs to stand together and support these innocent emotional parts, offering them love and understanding. And at the same time, they appreciate the actions of those other two, who, although at times misguided, are trying to protect that innocent emotional part. The elders may then propose that the community needs to come together to find a way to seek out the root cause of this behaviour of the critical and outrageous person. They may suggest that the two individuals may be acting out because of personal struggles or from the past, and the community should work to help them heal and help them find ways to not only address their issues in a healthy manner, but ways that they can productively support the emotional part. New roles they can take on to give them a sense of purpose. Elders propose that the tribe should also work to develop a culture of kindness and empathy, where everyone is encouraged to support and uplift each other. They suggest that the tribe should work together to find ways to promote healing, forgiveness and reconciliation. Imagine now, solution comes into focus. Take a deep breath and imagine that the elders start to step forward in ceremony with gifts that they're going to offer these journeymen for a more balanced future. These gifts of gratitude are supported by the community to provide you with a more balanced internal life. The first elder steps forward carrying a small, intricately carved box for calmness, he said, opening the box to reveal a small stone inside. May this stone remind you to stay calm and centered in the face of adversity. The second elder steps forward, holding a bundle of herbs. For curiosity, she says, holding the herbs out to the journeyman. These herbs are harmless and bring you alertness and remind you, always be curious and open to new experiences and ideas. The third elder steps forward, holding a crystal in the outstretched hand. For clarity, they say, placing the crystal in the journeyman's palm. May this crystal bring you clarity of mind and purpose. The fourth elder steps forward, holding a bowl of water. For compassion, they say, pouring the water over the journeyman's hands so that each of them may share this gift. May this water remind you to always show compassion and kindness for those around you. The fifth elder, moving forward, holding a feather. For confidence, they say, placing a feather in each of the journeyman's hands and encouraging them to place it into their hair. May this feather give you the confidence to face any challenge that comes your way. The sixth elder steps forward, holding a shield. For courage, they say, presenting the shield to the journeymans. May these shields remind you to have the courage to defend yourselves and others. The seventh elder steps forward, holding a paintbrush. For creativity, they say, dipping the brush in paint and touching it to the journeyman's forehead. May these paintbrushes inspire your creativity and allow you to bring new ideas to life. The eighth and final elder steps forward, holding a strand of woven grass. For connectedness, they say, tying this string, this beautiful bracelet around the journeyman's hands. May this grass remind you three that we're all connected and that we must work together to achieve our goals. As the meeting comes to a close, the tribe members agree to work to address the situation and support the innocent emotional person, to build them up. They commit to creating a culture of kindness and empathy within their community, and to find ways to support the healing and growth of all members of the tribe. Take a few moments to let these ideas sink in. Imagine how they relate to your situation. Slowly bring yourself back to the present moment. Taking a deep breath, wriggle back into your body. When you're ready, opening your eyes, ready to return to your day, carrying this sense of guidance and support with you. The journeymen, they stand now in the centre of the village, surrounded by the elders, their hearts racing with excitement and anticipation as they await the ceremony's end. Then this will instill them with the abilities they need to become great leaders and warriors, nurturers. They become the future that we desire. As the ceremony completes, they feel a deep sense of gratitude and connection to the tribe and its elders, and you to understanding yourself more deeply. They knew that you've been given the tools needed to become the leader you're meant to be, and that you're ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With a new sense of purpose and strength, now set out, fully awake, to make your mark on the world, inspired by this internal wisdom and guidance, your own tribe.